So we'll be talking about the fear responses, flight, fight, freeze and fawn.
Fawn,
yes.
The little known fawn.
Yeah, which is a whole new one to me.
Yes, yeah. It's the most addictive one when we talk about how it holds us there as well.
Yeah, so the fawn is about, becoming a bit of a chameleon to protect yourself basically and fit in with what's happening around you so you don't, to look after yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, to keep you safe and keep you surviving no matter what cost.
Yeah.
But over time, you don't know who you are because you're the chameleon, you're the people pleaser, you're the helper. There's so many things that you fit into, you blend into just to stay alive, just to do what you're told. Yeah. You don't have a voice, you don't have vision, and we talked about that last time, that the vision, you're in everybody else's vision.
Yes.
You're helping everybody else to do this
You're like
stuff.
the support act in everybody else's life. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then when you're trying to find your voice, something happens to your voice because your fawn, the trauma response, we're just talking about anxiety.
Yeah.
Anxiety is the first thing, and then it starts getting deeper and deeper, and then it starts taking over. And next minute you're to the background and your trauma response is just speaking for you. It it takes over, it controls your whole life then. Yeah.
So do people find when they become aware of this and they start to, work to, maybe, get out of this response, do they find that they're less people-pleasing, they're less, what's the transition like to go from being in that fawn response to going, no more, I'm done?
It's really... It takes a little while because it's in the nervous system. The nervous system is the little gauge. It's got the feelers out there. It's got the sensors out there, and you're just trying every single day. It's just a day at a time. And you fall back. It's like learning to walk. As a little kid. So you just keep going as much as you can. You're getting stronger and stronger. You actually know, you can feel when you're starting to get anxious. You go, oh, okay, so what's really this? So you're sort of doing a little awareness. What's actually happening here?
So rather than letting it control you, you start to question that anxiety and go, well, hang on, what's causing it?
Where's it coming from? Why am I feeling afraid of this? What's going to happen? And a lot of times it's taken over, and a lot of the anxiety belongs to the past. It doesn't realise. We were talking about it the other, with the last time. It's like Peter Pan. And Peter Pan old memories are still there, and they're actually controlled. Oh my God, remember the last time and the times before that. And that's the thing that comes up, and that really makes you anxious. If you can step away from it, be a sole observer of the whole thing. Whereas this happened before, this is what it is. When we're talking the narcissists. Who does this person remind me of? And the person reminds you of mother, father, somebody else.
Teacher, school bully.
Siblings.
Bully at school or something,
But anything like that, and okay, righty, I can see that. And then you can take more control over it. But if you're in it, it's a bit like the fishbowl. You can't see what's actually going, whereas everybody else on the outside can see it. So again, it's just one step at a time. It's very, very controlling, this mind of yours, because that's its job. It was given, it's taken on this role. It has to keep you safe and survive no matter what cost. Most people die, on their deathbed. We have talked about the regrets of the top 10 regrets of the dying. And when you have a look at this fawn, you understand, you go, this has taken them all away, and then on their deathbed they're having all the regrets. I don't want you to have the regrets then. I want you to be able to do the work now.
So what's the impact then on the people around you? When you sort of start to do this work and you start to make that change a little bit and start, I think of it as like the worm is turning, A
lot of people don't like it, especially family. They don't like you. And especially if you're the people pleaser and you're caring less.
And you're suddenly not.
What? What's going on with you? It's nothing about anybody else. It's how you really have to look after yourself. The people who are meant to be with you will stay with you. It's just that... you're just causing friction. If you do that, then they've got to deal with their own stuff, and they don't want to. They like it.
Because they like that you're there fixing it for them.
You've been everything. Why would you do this now? What's going on? It's a midlife crisis, but I'm hoping that you have it a lot earlier than, the 40s, 50s.
So you don't waste all that time.
Absolutely. You get stuck in relationships. Relationships as in work. other people around you, and inside you're dead. You know, you just feel, oh God, you know, here they come again. Yeah. That's the anxiety stuff that comes up. Okay. And when you're feeling it, you're going, oh my God, you know, what am I going to say here? Yeah. And it starts getting a little bit worried and nervous on the inside. Step back from it. Go, well, where is this coming from? How can I change this? And you're talking to, you're not going mad. Yeah. You're really getting in touch with your own stuff, because this has kept you alive. This has kept you safe all the way through. But now you're just going, but I want to live. I don't want to survive. It's really hard work to hide, to please, to do all these things. And we talked about people please. You're exhausted. Yeah. And that's the reason why you're exhausted, because you're putting up a front that there's a part of you goes, I don't want to do this anymore. That was years ago. Yeah. Get me out of it. Yeah. Can I step out of that now? Yeah.
So can you find that the people around you, and I'm thinking of family particularly, might be thinking, God, you're cranky now. Why are you so cranky all of a sudden? And is that just you just going, no, I'm done. I'm not going to be I'm not pleasing, so therefore... Yeah. You're
just going to have to get used to it.
Yeah, suck it up.
Do it for yourself.
Too bad.
Start doing it for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So we were talking just off air about the 7 inner critics.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. We're going to come back and talk about that. So we'll take a little bit of a break, and we will be right back with the fabulous Bernie Giggins from Inner Child Harmony Coaching, and I will work on getting my words right in the break. It is Rach and you drive home on West Bremer Radio.
Perfect.
Can't work on a Tuesday.
Especially after 3 days off.
No, I worked yesterday.
Oh, did you? What did you do?
Yeah.
Oh, did you? Oh. Yeah.
But I didn't whinge all that much. I mean, a little bit, but anyway. No one listened anyway, so.
Good on you. And she keeps going.
Yeah. All right. G'day, Ipswich. You're back with Rach and Bernie on your drive home on this Tuesday arvo. All the kids are back at school. Most people are back at work. So I hope you've had a nice break. And we're kind of now on the downhill run to Chrissy, aren't we? I've got Bernie with me, and we're talking about the Fawn response. But yeah, I saw Christmas puddings in the shop yesterday.
And they were going on about Christmas displays in a lot of the big shops as well.
I'm not ready. I'm so not ready. Anyway, we're not talking about Christmas, we're talking about the Fawn response, and you mentioned there are 7 inner critics that we've all got. So what's that all about? Yeah.
So to keep you safe, to keep you surviving, internally it's taken up a little system. Again, you're not split personalities. It's actually all these little tiny things inside of you. Part of you doesn't want to do this, part of you is just angry, part of you really wants to please, or trying to get it right. So it's almost, I call it the 7 dwarfs on one side.
Yeah. And you're Snow White. Yeah.
But it's when you understand it, you go, that part belongs back there. And again, be the observer, and then you can change it if you choose to. So we were saying here, if the main thing standing in the way of your success is yourself, and your own worst enemy. Whenever you need to do something big, and your subconscious mind, which is your fawn, is the inner critic, which overrides reason and logic. It tells you that you're not safe, maybe it feels unsure, maybe it senses danger on the other side, and then maybe you might fail. So we can't have that. So there's this little inner thing that's actually set up the critic, the self-sabotaging, the self-critic, the self-destroyer, and they're there to keep you in line. Don't you ever get out of there because I'm going to do this. But they're your protectors. And we go, why would I self-sabotage? Why would you self-sabotage? And it's because of the fear response in there. So there's 7. So there's a perfectionist. So the perfectionist, guilt tripper, underminer, destroyer, a conformer or molder, taskmaster, and then your inner controller, which is all about food and substances or anything else like that. Right. So you're perfectionist. This critic sets you up to do things perfectly, sets high standards, and a lot of times that won't, you can't even get started. It has to be perfect. Yeah. So there's a part of you, then you have an opposite inside. It's a rebel or a procrastinator, and he goes, I'm not doing it, I'm going to find.
I'm not going to get it right anyway. What's the point?
I'm going to clean the house before I have to do that sort of stuff. But it tries to make sure that you fit in and that you'll know you won't be judged or rejected. So that's its job. So if you can get to it and speak to it, or where did it come from, and really clear it out there, so much better for you. Guilt tripper. This critic is stuck in the past, unable to forgive you for wrongs that you've done or people you've hurt in the past. It tries to protect you from repeating past mistakes by making sure that you never forget or you ever feel free. Underminer. This critic tries to undermine your self-confidence and self-esteem so you won't take risks. It makes direct attacks on your self-worth, so you will stay small and not take chances where you could be hurt or rejected. So it's got all these little jobs on the inside. It's afraid of your being too big or too visible and not being able to tolerate judgment or failure. So again, it's just, this protection on the inside. When you understand, you go, So you just do little tiny steps and get stronger and stronger. Notice when it's going to come up. Notice who the people around you, that's what sets you off as well. And then you distance yourself from those, and then you look for people who are going to support you. So number 4 is destroyer, your self-destroyer. It shames you and makes you feel inherently flawed, not entitled to basic understanding or respect. This attacks your self-worth. Excuse me. It's the most debilitating critic because you feel shattered, destroyed. It comes from early deprivation or trauma. A lot of times it's safer not to exist. So you'll do anything just to be in the background, or kill yourself, cruel yourself, and you never ever get a start. Conform and molded. So this is your chameleon. This critic tries to get you to fit into a certain mould based on standards held by society, your culture, or your family. It wants you to be liked and admired and to protect you from being abandoned, shamed, or rejected.
So that's all about, I guess, being different. Like, you don't want to be different. You don't want to be, and particularly for someone in the queer community, that must be one of the really tough ones.
Absolutely. And trying to get through that and talk to it and say, no, this is really good. And the same sort of stuff, you feel the nervous system will tell you who you can trust and to talk to. So it's getting to know the other people, who you can trust, and let your nervous system allow those to come in, and then even get more of those, because then more behind you, you're feeling at eased, and then you'll be able to get the confidence back to do whatever you need to do as well. So number 7 is the taskmaster. This one wants you to work hard to be successful. Fears that you may be mediocre or lazy and will be judged as a failure and it has to keep pushing you to keep going. So it's a really hard, hurry up. That this one also brings up the procrastinator or the rebel to fight against its heart. So there's I don't want to do it, and the other, you'll do it. So you can always also hear your parents in these inner critics, outer critics. It's like, you will do this. You'll hear your mother's voice or your father's or a teacher. So the inner controller, this is a big one, because this is the main one that does for people with addictions. Alcoholics, bulimics, sexaholic, spendaholic, foodaholics,
gamblers,
all the above. It tries to control your impulses. It's polarized with an indulger. Addict who fears can get out of control at any moment. It tends to be very harsh and shaming. So you splurge, you indulge, and then this other part comes in and just shames you. How dare you? How stupid. You don't need anybody else on the outside to do it, because you got this on the inside.
So it's comfort seeking, isn't it, a lot of this? That's why you comfort eating or smoking or drinking, or in the moment, it's that what's going to make you feel better, or you think is going to make you feel better, right?
What they're doing is these addictions are actually taking away from the pain of the past. And the pain of the past is hidden by your trauma response. So if you can be aware of it, and where is this coming from? And they call it the exile. You've exiled, or you've banished to the past, or you've been, traumatized so much, don't ever bring that up. So it's learning to know the pain, the burdens, the suffering of that, deal with it, and then you won't be drinking, smoking, but it takes you off there. No, that is just too painful. I was 5 years old, I was 10 years old. It's got no idea. Same Peter Pan. It's got no idea that you're 40, 50, 60. You can deal with it, you can handle it. Again, it's just this inner system
Yeah.
by the Fawn trauma response.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, wow, there is a lot to it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is his internal system.
Yeah.
It'll keep you there. Most of these they're people with it. Hey, people pleasers are the addictions.
Yeah,
It's
exactly. You're addicted
sick.
to helping people.
Oh, God.
All right, well, stick around, Bernie, because I've got a couple more questions before we run away. So don't go anywhere. It's Rach and Bernie on your drive home this afternoon on West Bremer Radio.